Welcome everyone, Farmer Cop here. Today we're going to do some tests with trees and wood chips. So if this is what you're looking for, please stay tuned. Alright folks, today's test video we're going to do something a little bit different. This is an idea, gosh, I can't remember who gave it to me, but it's a fantastic idea. So what we're going to do is we're going to test to see how much you make if you're cutting an in-game standard tree that you've planted using a standard tree planter and saplings. So essentially we're going to use under here, we're going to use this guy to plant trees, and we are using the in-game saplings, just one of them. This is fully grown, so it is here. We are going to test it and see how much you get if you sell this at the sawmill in lengths of 1 meter, 2 meter, 3 meter, 4 meter, 5 meter, 6 meter, 7 meter, 8 meter, 9 meter, 10 meter, 11 meter, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Now the in-game, if we go in here, the in-game, if we go to forestry harvesters, these guys only do up to 8 meter lengths, 1 to 8. So this is a mod that was recommended by someone in the Buffalo Duel, which has this mod. Then there's a tree harvester header for it. So if we go into it, this actually, if we open the help menu, that says cut length there, 1 meter, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and then back to 1. So we're going to use this. I have the game saved exactly where everything is. So this harvester header, we're just going to hit cut each time we come on here, so it should cut it at the same exact spot. I already saved it out and brought back in. This doesn't fold up or anything when you leave the game. This stays all like this. I've already tested that part out. So then we'll cut it in 1 meter lengths, sell them at this sawmill, cut them in 2, and so on and so on at the sawmill. Now we're also going to do that same test where we are going to wood chip the 1 meter lengths, 2 meter lengths, all the way up to 15 meter lengths to see if there's actually a difference in wood chipping. Now, in the real world, technically speaking, every time you cut a tree, you lose a little bit of it. So technically speaking, the longer length will give you more wood chips, but we'll find that out by doing this test, and we'll also tell you exactly how many wood chips you're going to get out of one of these trees from those various ones. So those are the tests we're going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and start running through them. Running through them. I'll leave you guys in here for the first one. We'll actually do the first one as a wood chip test here real quick. Turn this guy on, pop out, get into here, turn the harvester header on. Oop, there we go. Boom. So that's exactly what's going to happen each time we get in here. So now if I move this over, I should be able to just like this. That works too. It might fall on our tractors, but that's okay. So I should be able to bring it over to here, and this one will be easier. The longer lengths will be a little bit more difficult, but I can use super strength to adjust things because that should not affect it at all by any means. So, and actually I need to do this, I believe, and come over here and turn this back on. Oop. Perfect. Now it should keep going while I'm out of it. Perfect. This guy should as well. So if I go open that up, we're at 1 meter length. Perfect. All right, so let's get a little bit closer. Try to get this over a little bit more. Oh, no, we don't want that to happen. Oh, goodness. Well, this is off to a great start here. Oh, boy. Okay, let me bring this back down. And I will just do one of these bad boys here, since this is just a test. You would think this thing could handle a tree a little bit better. I guess I'm used to using the FDR stuff, so it works out normally a lot better than that. But anyhow, you get the idea of the test. I'll bring you guys back in once I get this thing uprighted, and then we'll do the first test together. All right, and this should work out. So, theoretically, perfect. So we'll do 1 meter lengths. Oh, of course, it's already not working. Just off to a great start here. Come on, you guys can get in there. Oh, great. Okay, let's get these guys rolling. This test is going fantastic. That's all right. We'll still be able to get the same results. It'll be fine. This part, how sloppily it's conducted, doesn't matter as long as the rest of it works out well. Don't know why that's all confuddled, but that's fine. I don't know why that's twisting around. I mean, this is a modded thing, which I don't normally use, so sometimes it might have some strange pieces and bits to it, but that's okay. We'll make it work to the best of our ability. And of course, the 1 meter one's going to take longer than the rest of them anyways. All right, throw some of these in there. Come on, there we go. There we go. And that all of them didn't miss any. That would affect the test for sure if I missed a piece, but I think we're okay. Jeez. Things really do not want to go into this thing. There we go. Maybe this will work finally. There we go. Now we're getting them to actually go in. Maybe because they're getting smaller and a little bit easier to work with, but this thing is definitely much harder to use than the FDR. If you get used to the FDR stuff, this will definitely affect your ability to do things. Perfect, and that is all of it. So let me hop out and finish throwing the rest of these pieces in here. Possibly, if they're gonna go in there. There we go. And that should be all of them here in a second. And this trailer will be more than enough capacity to hold them all, so. All right, and there you have it. So 16,736 liters of wood chips. So I will load out and load back in, and I will continue doing this test, and I'll bring you guys back in at the end so you can kind of see the results. All right, guys, I am now on Ravenport. So I finished testing all the wood chips, but I decided that I should probably do the actual log length, selling them at the wood or at the sawmill. I should probably do that on a base game map just to make sure everything's pretty standardized, since No Man's Land technically has a modded sawmill. So I don't know if the prices will change or not, but we're going to go ahead and try it out here. The other thing we're going to do using the easy development commands, we can add in logs from 1 to 8 meters. So those would be, I would say, like really premium perfect logs. So we'll add those in. But essentially, before I do the length test, I have it saved here, so everything should be fine. Now, if you noticed on the wood chip one, if I turn this on, it moves its way up the log a little bit, and then it stops. So I waited for it to stop moving for all of them, so they should all be pretty consistent. And I got some interesting results on that, but we'll go over that at the end. I'll put that into a, I'll put that into a chart. So let's go ahead and add in some logs here. We'll try this with you guys in here. 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, a 6, a 7, and an 8. These are just like perfect logs, essentially, or pretty close to perfect anyways. So this is just out of this here. So let's turn on super strength. And let's move all these guys out of the way. I probably should have done this off to the side, but that's okay. I'll leave you guys in here for this. But, you know what, actually, maybe what I should have done is done them one at a time, but that's okay. We'll leave the 1 meter one in here, and then we'll move this guy out of the hazards. So we'll sell the 1 meter one. We make sure that those guys aren't moving. $172, so 172 for a premium one. Let me write that down. Okay, now let's grab a 2 meter guy, which is probably going to be, you know what, I can't really certify which are which. I think that next one up is the 2 meter one. So let me go ahead and move these guys out of the way. We'll just go ahead and add in a 2 meter log, and we will sell that. 381. Okay, now we will F11. Well, let's get over into the area here. We'll add a 3 and sell that. 614. So it's definitely going up a little bit, pretty consistently right now, but I'm assuming once we get into the longer ones. So 4 meter, 925. Okay. Now let's go back up into here, and then we will add a 5 meter, right? Yep, 5 is next. Okay. 1266. So we are moving our way up. F11 again. 6 meter. 1625. So that was a big jump there. Now we'll see if it actually matters a whole lot moving up further. 7. 1787. So not a big jump there. Okay, then we'll get ourselves an 8. 1784. Is that true? Let's try that again. Make sure it's actually all the way, oops, all the way in here. See if that matters at all. It shouldn't matter. It should just be picking it up. Yeah, 1784. So then it goes down for the 8 meters. So interesting. So what I am going to do, since we have the Buffalo Duel here, it can cut stuff up from 1 to 15 meter lengths. I'm going to write down, when I cut them, I'm going to write down how much the first piece, so like the thickest piece, earns for that one piece. I'm also going to write down the total for how much the whole tree earns if you cut it up into like a 1 meter chunk. I'm also going to document how many pieces each one was chopped up into and how many of those were full pieces. So for example, if I do 12s, I'm going to get 2 12-meter logs, and I'm going to get like a little spindly bit at the end. So if I do that, I'll document that I got 2 full pieces and then 1 partial piece, essentially, if that makes any sense. I don't think any of them, or maybe the 1 meters and some of the smaller ones, some of them will have, or 8 meters are that way too, where they have pretty much exactly, they all exactly fit in here, since this is a very specific tree. But so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and test that, and then I'll bring you guys back in at the end and we'll go over some results. All right, welcome back. So I have completed the test. Yeah, we have some interesting results, that is for sure. I also did a test at the end where I loaded back in and cut the tree and just drug it over there, dropped it, and then sold the tree. That was the worst way to sell a tree, in case you were wondering. But let me pull up some results here for you so you guys can kind of see what we're talking about here. So, wood chips, the best, it was actually if you cut them into 1 meter lengths followed by 2 meter lengths. Then down below, the worst is 14. I have no data for 15 because it kept glitching out. I tried 3 or 4 times and I couldn't get it to work, so I couldn't wood chip it and get a good like number for it. So yeah, so that's the results there. They're kind of varied, right around 16 grand, a little bit over, not 16 grand, sorry, right around 16,000 liters. That's liters of wood chips, not dollars. That's why that's there. So right around 16,000 liters. And then the first sell, that is if I cut the whole tree up, that's how much the first chunk of it sold for. Then the total sell is how much all the trees sold for in those chunks are of that size. And then the pieces is how many pieces were sold, and that's including that first piece as well. And then the spawn sell is when I had you guys in here and I sold each of those individual chunks that were spawned in. Those were actually the worst as far as compared to the first sell for the different lengths. But that's those results at the end there for you. Obviously I can't spawn anything in bigger than 8 meters. But yeah, so the first sell, as far as which one's worth the most, if you sold something at 12 meters, that was 3,804, and that was the winner. However, the best way to sell a tree, according to this, is to cut it into 10 meter lengths and sell it for 7,461, which was the best total price on there. I know a lot of people advocate for 6 meter lengths, which does make sense. 7,391 is pretty good, and then 8 meter lengths is actually higher than that at 7,445, and those cut neatly into 4 8 meter length logs, as you can see in the pieces section. For the 6 meter lengths, you get 5 6 meter lengths, and then a kind of a strange one, and that's what that /1 is. If you ever see a /1, so like for example the 3 meter lengths, it says 10/1. That means there was 10 pieces that were 3 meters and then one at the end that wasn't quite 3 meters or wasn't 3 meters. So 11 total pieces, 10 that were actually 3 meters and 1 that was not. So that's kind of what that chart means. Obviously, once you get down to the bottom, it's pretty much, you're not going to have equal measures. But so yeah, that's the results. Again, it could vary from tree to tree. Different trees could mean different things. That's what I have for you. 8 meter lengths appeared, or 8 meter lengths appear to probably be the best option, I would say, just because they're equal nice pieces to work with. For someone who might be OCD or whatever the case may be, 7,461 technically the highest at the 10 meter length ones there. But once you get up there, it's all right around $7,400 for most of those options up there. So it's not going to matter a whole lot, the difference, really. So yeah, that is this test video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, drop a like down below. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button up on the screen to join the channel and turn on your notification bell so you don't miss any future test videos like this or tutorials or guides or anything else like that. But yeah, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think of the results. This has been Farmer Cop. Thank you guys for coming and watching.